Hello and welcome to TEC Bike Parts. Today I'm going to show you how you install a booster plug on a Triumph Scrambler 1200 XC and XE models, both basically the same. Now, booster plugs are normally very straightforward and easy to fit, but Triumph have decided to fit the air intake temperature sensor on this side of the airbox, and you can't get this side panel off without taking the silencers off. So it's not a huge job. All we need to do is take the silencers off, which to do that you need to take this heat shield off, loosen the two clamps on the front pipes and remove the two bolts at the back. So it is a fairly straightforward job, but I thought I'd do a video because it's just a little bit more involved than normal. Okay, so we'll crack on. So first of all, we'll just whip these four bolts out of here. And you remove them from the back first. Now, a lot of people ask, why would you need to fit a booster plug? And they get a bit confused with, like in the old days with carburetors, when you changed an exhaust or an air filter or whatever, you had to jet up the carburetor. That isn't necessarily true on an ECU bike, because normally they will compensate quite a bit for that. So it isn't a straight analogy to a carburetor. What you will find though is that the ECU is tuned with parameters that will only allow it to run to a certain degree of richness in its programming. Now, to get around that, there's various different ways. You can change the ECU program, but there isn't one available for this bike yet. You can fit something like a power commander, but to fit a power commander to this bike, unless you're doing extensive engine modifications, is a bit of an overkill. You don't really need it. Yes, power commanders are great. We use them a lot on very modified bikes, but if you're just putting a decat or an exhaust can on or an air filter, you simply don't need to go at the expense of a power commander, and the extra power you'll get is negligible for the cost involved. I mean, the average cost of an install and a map and the power commander, you'd be looking over £600 or around about $1,000 in total. Maybe it's more in certain countries, depending on what the tuner charges. Now, Power Commander do have set maps that they use, and a lot of the time, if they've done one before, they're quite good at letting you have the map if you buy the Power Commander from them, with the map that suits the setup on your bike. But it's a bit of a lottery. If you haven't had that setup done on your bike before, you're going to have to pay the money to Power Commander or another tuner to get it done. Now, this is where the beauty of the booster plug is. Basically, the booster plug fools the engine into thinking it's colder than what it is, and it does that with a very clever little sensor. It has its own temperature sensor in, and it basically just adds a little bit of extra resistance or less resistance to alter the reading going into the ECU, so it thinks it's about 10 degrees colder than what it actually is. And when it thinks it's colder, it therefore thinks the air's denser, therefore it thinks it needs more fuel. On average, it's about 5 to 6% extra fuel that it'll put into the engine. Now, this won't affect your miles per gallon because it only adds this fuel during open loop cycle. Now, if you don't know what open loop cycle is, basically open loop on a normal ECU only comes into effect where you're changing the throttle or the engine revs are going up. And if you haven't touched the throttle or you've stayed at a steady rev for about 2 or 3 seconds, it will then drop into closed loop mode. In closed loop mode, it uses the engine exhaust sensors, the O2 sensors, or lambda sensors as some people call them, and that senses the actual mixture in the motor, and it automatically compensates for that, and it doesn't take so much off the other readings on the bike, like airflow map sensor, air temperature. It's mostly working on the actual O2 sensors in there to tell the ECU how to adjust the fuel. and it does it incredibly fast. It'll probably do 10,000 calculations a second on the fuel mixture, and then it just alters the time, and it can literally change the fuel mixture on each individual power stroke. It's that clever. But anyway, like I say, it is a very simple system, and it won't alter the ignition timing like the Power Commander will, but altering the ignition timing has its own risks as well. Yes, you can get slightly more power if you've got very good fuel where you live, and you can advance the timing a little bit. But if you put poor fuel in, or if you're just a little bit too far with your advance, you will cause detonation, and you will melt a piston or a valve or something like that. So only advanced tuners go there. The booster plug won't do anything like that. All it does is richen the mixture, which is perfectly safe. It'll never richen the mixture to a point where it'll foul the engine or foul the plug. It's only 6%, and it puts it back into that rich zone that carburetors used to do, where you had accelerator pumps, and it used to give you a lovely rich mixture on acceleration, which Euro 4 regs have completely banned you from doing anything like that now. So that's basically all it does. So anyway, I've loosened the two exhaust clamps off there. If you make a note of the angle that they were at, that one comes down about 45 degrees, and that one comes straight up. You'll need to slide them off the front to get them out. You know, when you take this off, be quite careful, because you can damage these seals. Normally, if you're careful, you don't need to replace these seals. And next, what we need to do is undo the two bolts on the silencer. Leave the top one to last. Do the one that's on the inside of the rear wheel first. They're both 12mm, so I'll do that now. So after you've done the inside one, just loosen the top one off. And once you've got this bolt out, you can remove the whole silencer assembly. Like I say, it's not a big job. It looks a lot bigger than what it is. It's quite easy to get off. Now, when you take this off, you'll probably find that the bottom bush, that one there, will drop out, so just be careful you don't drop it on the floor. And that will now just ease off like that. So now we need to undo these three Allen headed bolts to get the side cover off. It's simple as that. Now this is the actual wire and plug we're looking for. This one here. This is our air injection sensor, and the booster plug plugs into either side of that. So the booster plug comes with full written instructions that show you basically how to do what I've just shown you on the video. And it comes with factory original plug and socket on it that just plugs straight into these wires here. So that one there plugs into your sensor, and that one there plugs into your wiring. As simple as that. And this wire here, so you've got three wires on the unit. This wire here is your auxiliary temperature sensor. Now, there's a couple of places you can mount this. Booster plug C, you can mount it up near the headstock to get cold air up there, or you can mount it near the air intake. Now, as the air intake on this motor, on the airbox, is literally just here, it's much easier to just mount it beside the air intake under the seat. And I'll show you how to do that in a moment. So you just need to unclip it a little bit. Just a couple of loops should do. So once you've unlooped a little bit of this here, and you've got your seat out, feed it up through the back here. Now the air intake for the motor is literally under this cover here. So I normally just push it up next to the air intake and use a cable tie around this little loop here and clip it up out the way. And then you can basically just get all that in the side panel there now and pop the side panel back on. What you've got to make sure is the plug's away from the cutaway, because it catches on this area otherwise. So as you can see, I've literally cable tied the sensor so it's actually sitting right in the intake of the airbox. You'll also notice I've removed the rubber snorkel as well, because it's quite restrictive, the rubber snorkel, and that actually does give you a little bit more responsiveness taking that out. So we just need to pop the exhaust silencer back on there now. Just careful to line these up and not damage the seals as you're putting them on. Careful, because the top one can jam a bit there. Pop your bolts back in the back. Pop your heat shields back on, this one first, then that one, and then seat back on and you're all done. So that's it all installed there now. So all you need now is to fire it up, just to check you've done everything right on it. Obviously, if you've done something wrong, you'll get a fault light shown. Forgot to start it while I was talking there. Never switch the ignition on while you've got anything disconnected, otherwise you will log a fault on the ECU system. So make sure you never switch it on. Make sure everything's connected up. Like I say, it should fire up and the MIL light should go straight out. You should find now that you don't have as much lumpiness lower down. It should pull a lot cleaner and smoother, and it'll just be generally nicer. I did find on this bike I used to get a lot of stalling, and it's a common thing with the 1200 motor. It's so lean at lower revs, particularly the lighter flywheel versions, that it actually stalls quite a bit. On the 1200 Thruxton model, it was so dangerous they had a factory recall on it, and they changed the mapping very slightly to try and get around it. But even with that anti-stall map one, they're still very, very hesitant when you open the throttle, and lumpy and tend to be stally. This particular bike, what I found, if I coast downhill for a bit, on tick over, and then go to put fuel on again, it'll just cut out. And it's the lack of fuel at lower revs that's causing that. So the booster plug should address that. The booster plug comes with a lifetime, no quibble warranty, and they don't go wrong. It's as simple as that. They're a really, really well tried and tested thing. But for any reason you don't like it, you don't think it works for you, send it back. There's a full 90-day money-back exchange policy, no quibble, and a full lifetime warranty from Booster Plug themselves. Okay then, thanks for watching. These are available on the web shop now. More parts coming through for the 1200 Scrambler over the winter.